For those of us who are not in the front line, it may seem incredible that people who are dominating the headlines can be surprised when they are accused of doing something illegal, can be surprised when they are found guilty of having taken illegal substances in a doping test. So, for example, Amir looks genuinely surprised that he was found to have had a positive test after weeks of negative tests, and after a serious boxing match where he felt he hadn't performed to his best and he retired after it anyway. He's 36, and he just feels that his career has been spoilt by this doping ban that he's now got. And he says mistakes can happen. Yeah, mistakes can happen because, like so many of those people in the news, he's living on the edge of what is acceptable, what is not acceptable. He's pushing to the edge of what is known. He's using supplements and vitamins. His team is giving him things to make sure that he's performing to his best. And the same with President Trump. We may say, oh, well, Trump's sort of living an alternative reality. I'm sure that he thinks that whatever he is doing is right. But I think the reality is probably closer to the fact that there are a multitude of truths that he can draw on. The Queen rather brilliantly talked about their truth, or a variety of memories. We remember things differently, and the Harry and Meghan talked about their truth. But I think this is much closer to reality. There isn't an absolute truth. Suella Braverman is pushing at the boundary of the legal system, internationally and nationally. She knows this. We know this. The chances of her overstepping her powers are very high. Now, she would defend this by saying that she has to test these boundaries because she wants to bring in entirely new concepts. I would say that that's something to do internationally rather than nationally. I would say that's something to do with the consent of other nations rather than against the consent of other nations. It's something that is better done in a conference than something that is done unilaterally. Unilaterally, you're likely to find yourself exposed and to be facing a court case or a drug charge. That's the problem with testing the limits of our system. All our systems need to change. We don't grow without change, but that change can be very difficult, and particularly when we are doing something new and adventurous. So yeah, I would place Amir Khan, Mr. Trump, Suella Braverman. I would place them all in the same bag. I give them, I look upon them very differently, but they are all in their own way testing the limits of their own interests and their own skills, and they're going in places which other people have not been. And that can be dangerous.